probably got me turned down
How would you like to travel to the western part of the United States to enjoy the beautiful mountains? How would you like to drive through the scenic views of the famous desert of Arizona? How would you like to see bisons, goats, wolves, and other desert animals? How would you like to stand right over the side of a huge mountain overlooking miles of grassy hills with only a stone wall up to your waist blocking you? Today's guest will talk about these and other unique experiences he encountered on a recent trip to the state of Arizona and saw what it has to offer. The Humanities Mass Communications Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. Now, join our host, Jermaine Johnson, to meet the next new director.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All of the people involved with this program are students from the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you will meet on this show are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student has written and directed 4 different productions. This program will give you the chance to for them to talk about themselves and the productions they created, and give you the chance to get to know them and enjoy some of the work that they've done during the semester. Our guest today is a communications major and loves to travel around the country, capturing amazing photos and memories. One of his favorite pastimes are observing nature, and his most recent trip was one to remember. He got to enjoy the beauty and the speechless view of the enormous Grand Canyon in Arizona. His favorite season is summer, and he loves participating in athletic activities such as baseball and football. When he's not playing sports, he is also hanging out with friends and having fun. We would like for you to meet our guest today, Perry Hoye. How are you doing, Perry?
All right, I'm doing pretty good today. How about you?
I'm doing good. We're doing great. So we know that you love traveling and observing, and you got to take a trip to the Grand Canyon. So please tell us about your trip and what are the most interesting parts of it?
All right, well, when we first got there, I didn't really know what to expect because, we landed in one of the main cities in Arizona and we got there pretty late, so we didn't get a chance to do anything that day. But the next day we really saw what we were in for, everything around you was just really breathtaking for me. And the weather there was just really nice. It was definitely a change from the cold springs and winters we have here.
I bet.
So let me show you some of my photos here about my trip. So we took a scenic route through Sedona, Arizona, and we went up a big mountain to get to a lookout point. And we were able to see its beauty, and I was just breathtaking by the views there. And there's the road that we took all the way up there. And I love geography and I love nature. So this whole trip was just really cool for me. And the Grand Canyon was just breathtaking. It didn't look real. And I was surprised about how many people got so close to the edge there, and I've heard about some people falling at the Grand Canyon and dying. But anyway, but yeah, just the Grand Canyon was really amazing. You could see the different layers that have evolved, in the past thousands of years. It was just a really unique experience for me, and I hope to go back. And also we went to a drive-in zoo that they had, I believe, in Flagstaff, Arizona, where we saw goats. You saw a bison there in the beginning of the clip, and we saw wolves there too. And just the fact that we were able to get so close to them, just driving really up next to them, it was really amazing.
So why did you decide to take this course in the first place?
I took this course because I like a lot of movies and I'm familiar with media, and I want to do something like this as a living. I can see myself really enjoying a job like this, and this kind of thing is a new challenge for me. I've never really done this before, so it'd be interesting to see what I can do with this major.
So what are some of the things that you've learned in this course?
Well, I learned a lot of information since in this course since this is my first time taking it and having no prior experience for it. I learned how to perform camera techniques such as poor man's dissolve, rule of thirds, shift focus, continuous zoom ins and zoom outs, and grace lines. This was all new to me ever since the first day I started. So it took me a while to get used to. Shooting videos this way.
Okay. So tell me about your student studies project, the Teacup, Nature, and your Orange projects.
All right. Well, let me first tell you about my student studies project. I had my friend who was an actress. I couldn't be more grateful that she was able to help me with this filming, and this was my first ever mini project for it. So I was still getting used to to the editing process. I was still trying to get used to the pre-production part of it, and just we had to shoot at my house at nighttime. So yeah, so anyway, so let me move on to my Teacup project. This was probably by far one of my most favorite ones to do, just because I like the angles I got in it. We were able to shoot in a closed space, so the shots may seem a little repetitive there. And we had everything at my house again. We were able to shoot at my house, and this time in the morning, so it was more convenient for me, and just visually it just looks really satisfying to me that I was able to put this whole project together. I really had a lot of fun doing this project. So next, let me talk about my fall project, my New England fall project. I decided to do this in Cranberry Park just because it's one of my favorite outdoors place to go to. We had to use multiple locations. We went to Cranberry Park. We went to Devil's Den up in Wilton, I believe. There's a shot there, and there as well. We were able to get a nice geographical scene there.
Yeah.
And as we go back to it, and then we go back to Cranberry Park, there was a dog park there too. I was able to get a really good shot of
dogs racing.
Yeah, and as you can see, there's a house up there in Devil's Den. I don't know would want to live there. So then, lastly, there's my Orange project. This was my first major project, or my first major film project, and we weren't able to shoot it until nighttime. But that wasn't what I was planning on. But we had to work with what I got. So this is just a work in progress. But I could definitely see a really good vision for this project.
Okay. So tell us about your best project.
Okay, well, my best project is probably my Teacup project. I really liked filming it because the script was easy, the filming was fun, and the actress was really cool to work with. And when I look at it in the edit room and just all the raw footage I have, it's just really, I said this already, but it's just a really visually, it really makes me feel happy that I was able to put this together.
So what are the most important skills that you learned, and how will you use them?
Okay, well, since this is my first time working at camera, I'm definitely going to take these cinematography skills with me from this class as well. I was going to use the poor man's dissolve, grace lines, the emotional lines, continuous zoom ins and zoom outs, and all the techniques put together from my projects. I have an internship this summer at People's Court, so hopefully I'll be able to apply what I learned in this class to that internship this summer. So
Well, that's great. I hope you do very good in that endeavor, all right?
Thank you.
So today we got to meet someone who talked about his experience with nature and geography in the gorgeous Grand Canyon. As your new director, he hopes to apply that he has learned a lot here at NCC to document other travel and nature experiences. He also plans to use the new knowledge from TV One to create exciting geographical and nature videos in the future. We would like to thank our host, Perry Hoye, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. It was really fun.
Great having you here. So we hope you enjoyed meeting one of our television's future directors, and we hope you will continue joining us each week to watch our progress. Thank you and have a great day.
This has been The New Directors with your host, Jermaine Johnson, directed by Lynn Nicholas. I'm your announcer, Luke Duffy. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.